Why, hello dear viewer, back again to Silksong. It seems that my channel is kinda focused on this unreleased game, at least for now. Well, let's spin the wheel and see what topic we focus on today. It seems that not many elements are left to talk about, but one does indeed intrigue and is essential to this follow-up game and the series as a whole. What could this be, you ask? Well, you most likely read the title anyway, so yeah. How did Hornet get captured? No idea. According to Team Cherry's official website for the game, Hornet, in her search for the truth behind the capture, will befriend strangers, make quests, blah blah blah, you get it. So, finding out why you, the player, got captured is the core of the next game's story. Many theories have popped up from this. One such theory is very popular among the fandom and involves Hornet's link to her past, this being her close connection to the Weavers, who are strangely absent from the first game and might have a greater presence in the second one. Fans have speculated that the cult or the Kingdom of Hallownest itself are in desperate need of Weavers for magic or perhaps for silk production. Perhaps they are forced to produce silk to keep the kingdom running. After all, that would also explain the title Silksong, which also includes the second part song, but that could be something else, I don't know. That might be the reason for the mysterious Weaver which is visible at the end of the Silksong reveal trailer. Another theory might be that Hornet was captured because she is the daughter of the Pale King. This might give her some special powers which the cult is also interested in. But this would throw up the question how the cult knew of this critical information and why do they need her so desperately. I mean, the cult members who captured Hornet seem to have travelled quite long to get to Hallownest or wherever Hornet was last. Speculations about the why is interesting, but far more controversial is the question how. We know of Hornet as a skilled fighter, definitely a match for harder enemies or these cult bugs. So how do these cult fellows, who don't seem like the toughest bunch, manage to capture her? Some have argued that Hornet was exhausted from a fight against the Hollow Knight, along with her partner the Knight at the end of the first game. She did mention that the Temple of the Black Egg would weaken her powers, perhaps because of this the capture was easier, or maybe she was still unconscious when the cult got to her. Or what if we take the other ending and Hornet was weakened by her fight against the Hollow Knight after the Knight defeated the Absolute Radiance? Or what if the cult members had some super powerful magic with which they managed to capture Hornet? After all, their cage did have a seal of binding atop of it. It's hard to confirm all of this, and maybe there won't be an answer to this question at all if Team Cherry wants to keep all the endings from the first game canon. Perhaps we will only get an answer to the why, but never to the how. Another really important question was left unanswered by my last video, which I deeply regret. Perhaps some of you remember that in my last video I discussed Hallownest in the context of Silksong, and how characters from the first game might have an impact or reappear in the second game. But I missed out on a huge part. What will be Hallownest's future in this upcoming game? Sure, Hollow Knight Silksong will definitely focus on this new Kingdom of Hallownest, but what then? Will events unravel that will have an effect on the whole world of Hollow Knight? Will perhaps actions and story parts from the first game affect Hallownest? Like for example this new shadow entity at the end of the Godmaster DLC. That might come to play in Hallownest and will engulf the kingdom in darkness. And what happens to Hallownest after the Radiance's demise? Will the infection disappear? Will all those infected bugs return to rebuilding the kingdom? What of Dirtmouth? Will it become a new hub of this rebirth of Hallownest? How will this all play into the other characters which we met along our journey in the first game? Like Zod, everyone's favorite. My personal theory is that the kingdom will rebuild itself slowly. After all, even if the infection disappears, will all those bugs have the same ability of thought granted back to them, or will they turn mindless again, though not infected? If we go by the worst case scenario, the infection stays and the underground is still lost, then there will still be bugs overground and Dirtmouth. Perhaps travelers will come again to Hallownest, and this time the kingdom will be above surface. Yet, all of this is not guaranteed, and Team Cherry might take a twist with the lore of Hallownest. Again, it all kinda depends on what happens in Hallownest. It probably won't be a happy ending though. All of the endings of Hollow Knight were kinda sad or tragic. Some were definitely better in the grander context of the story than others, but none were exactly perfect or made me happy. A few of them even were extremely ambiguous and mysterious. So all of this was just a mind bubble of my own theories and ideas. You probably noticed that this involved me mostly asking random questions floating around in my brain to a viewer, you, which I can't even see. I do hope that we will get a conclusion to some of these questions. I know Team Cherry wants to keep the second game neutral and not make any of the last game's endings uncanon, but some lore answers regarding Hallownest would be satisfying, and at least in my eyes, necessary. Good, this was my take on Hornet's capture and Hallownest's future. What is yours? Share your mind bubbles in the comments below and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, and also, before this video ends, I have to tell you that none of this, what I just said, is canon, okay? Don't take my word for prophecy and don't do anything with that. Also, just a small tidbit of info for my channel. The Silksong lore is getting kinda desperate. I know I'm trying to get all the elements captured here to speculate on all the parts of the lore and the characters and all of that. But I do have to think about my next schedule and what I will do with a few videos later on. You can also have your own ideas. You can say to me that you wish to have me talk about something that you like. Have perhaps an idea which I can talk about in a small video or something. And just just tell me your ideas and all of that in the comments. After all, that's what keeps this channel alive a bit, and I also always look forward to your support and your feedback, and I can't thank you all enough for that. Now then, dear viewer, speak soon.